Welcome to the Life and Transitions Experts podcast. I'm your host, Courtney Rollins, here as the probate specialist, probate expert of Durham County, North Carolina. When I say specialist or expert, you may have heard me say this before. It doesn't mean that I know everything. In fact, it means that I know I don't about probate and about other aspects of transitions in people's lives. But I am committed to learning and sharing my experiences with folks. As a certified expert, I'm constantly in the clerk's office working with other estate professionals and working with clients and people who are going through probate to help them come up with some viable solutions. I like to say that my company, we focus on the property and the stuff. We try to offer great solutions to dealing with the property and dealing with the stuff when you are managing a probate, or even if before the management of a probate, if you're thinking about estate planning, or perhaps you're in a position where we've seen a lot of work in the senior space where seniors are living longer and needing better quality places to stay. And paying for that care can be a challenge. And sometimes using the house as a way to pay for the care is some of the options. And we try to provide as many solutions as possible. Today, we're actually going to look at an aspect that happens more often than not when someone is granted an inheritance, but for whatever reason, they don't want the inheritance. There's a lot of reasons someone may not want an inheritance. Perhaps it's a property that now is giving them a burden because they live out of state. The property may be run down. It maybe needs work. It maybe needs, of course, management. If you're thinking about keeping it as a rental or even managing it with other family members and stuff, there's a lot of reasons somebody may not want their inheritance as for property or even other inheritance. Perhaps they know that I know my mom wanted this particular person to have this. However, because of testate laws and things of nature is going to me, but I'm going to renounce that so that the proper person can receive this inheritance. There's many reasons why someone may want to reject their inheritance, and we're going to look at some of the steps you can go through today if you're one of those people or you know someone's one of those people, and you can perhaps share that with them. So let me, as I do, go to Canva and share my screen. That's not Canva. Oh, there it is. I thought I clicked off for a second. So how do you tell the court that they don't want the inherited house or any type of property, right? So again, probate is the legal process for settling the affairs of a deceased person. If they didn't have other things in place that would prevent their assets from going through probate, then it has to go through probate. Even if a person passes away with a will, probate is legally the way the will is executed. But again, a person may not want the property for personal reasons, or they don't want the responsibility. Those are usually the two areas they fall in, whether they feel like for whatever reason it should go to someone else, or they don't want it, or again, they don't want the responsibilities. First thing you're going to do is you're going to check the eligibility, check that you actually are the person that is actually eligible for the inheritance. And you can check testate laws if there is intestate laws if there's no will left, or you can check the will to see if this property is going to me, to check to make sure that you are legally obligated or going to receive the property. You will need to create a written renunciation. It specifically states what the inheritance is, what are the details of who's the person that the property belonged to. If you have the probate case, please include that. You need to make sure you include that. Actually, you need to make sure you include how much of it you're renouncing. Are you renouncing a quarter or a portion, a strip, whatever it is? You need to make sure it's there and that you have that written out. So it can be, I've literally typed up some for folks who were able to use that. So you have to be specific of what you are renouncing. Make sure that it's notarized. So go to any notary, have it signed, notarized. This is a very important step, especially if it to make sure it's valid and authentic. You're going to file the renunciation. You either turn it in with the personal representative, or submit it to the appropriate the deputy clerk who's handling the case, and make sure you keep a copy for your records. Again, it's always advisable to work with some type of attorney. That's going to be one of the things here to make sure you're doing it properly. But you want to make sure that it's filed with the probate case. Of course, notify anybody who's a vested interest in it. That's the personal representative of the estate, if they're an administrator, or the executor, personal representative as well, to make sure that they know that that you've renounced and that you've done the proper steps, and they have all the material there. So everything is transparent through the process. As always, seek legal advice. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm giving you my opinion. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm giving you my opinion. But as always, seek legal advice. And here at State Pro Service, I work with a nationwide group of awesome vetted professionals, and some specific to North Carolina. And so if you want to take advantage of my experience and connect you with someone who will work great with you, your family law attorneys are just our Jimmy Jam. That's the industry we work in. And you can reach out to State Pro Service, and we would love to support you, connect you as best we can along the way. And that is how you renounce the inheritance if you so choose or so decide in North Carolina. So if you have any questions or concerns or want support finding an attorney or any of those steps along the way, give me reach out to me, Courtney at estateproservice.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, of course, I would love a like or subscribe so we can get this to more people, so that more folks can be educated. And if you're on Facebook, all that good stuff, the like and subscribe and all that great stuff is very much appreciated. Of course, on Spotify as well. Anyway, you listen to this, would love that support so the algorithms can be happy and know that hopefully we're giving out some quality information that's hopefully bringing some value and service to folks' lives. Other than that, it's Labor Day. Hope you're resting up well. I hope it's a well-deserved rest. And I hope you let your light shine. Cheers.